Hello, and welcome to another Block Chat. Today, with Edward from FRACTIONEX. Edward will tell us everything about FRACTIONEX and why tokenization, what are we doing together, and where's the future, and how does it look like? Edward, how are you?
I'm very well. Very well. How are you?
Very good. Good having you today on a Block Chat. I'll
Yes.
start with the obvious question: why FRACTIONEX?
Uh, why the name or why the
By the
project?
name. Yeah, obviously. I'll ask you all the other questions afterwards.
Okay. So FractionX is pretty simple, really. Fractional exchange, shortened to FractionX. I thought it was quite catchy, so we went with that.
That's a cool one. So why tokenization? Why FractionX as a project?
So like, I'm not a big crypto guy. I've never been big into crypto. I owned a bit of Bitcoin in the past, but never been a massive advocate. And really just stumbled across tokenization as a methodology in another project I was working on, and it sort of opened my eyes to the opportunity that it presents for the future. And a lot of the projects that I've worked with have been for greater good, and I can see a real opportunity to deliver value in a multitude of different areas of society in utilizing tokenization as a platform.
Look, as you see, guys, we stopped doing conventional introductions here, not to take so much of the time, just introducing each other, the guests in the project, and. But here I need to introduce you to something. Edward has a history in investment consultancy, sales and marketing, and have been into several ventures. So when he says, I landed tokenization as an opportunity, and I saw an opportunity in that, he means much with that. And here we'll understand the details of why and what did he see in tokenization. I'm inspired in tokenization for a reason. Edward may be inspired for a totally different reason. So why tokenization? What is the opportunity you've seen in tokenization?
So I think we live in an age where property is like the desirable asset. It's always been a great asset, but the appreciation that we're seeing now and over the last sort of 15 years or so is second to none. But with that appreciation has come like a gap in affordability, and there are an increasing number of people in society that property is just like a distant dream. It always used to be, certainly in the UK where I grew up, it used to be a rite of passage where you'd go to school and you get a job, and the next step would be just to buy your own house, and it was a fairly easy process. You might need to save for 6 months, 12 months, maybe a couple of years, if depending on the level of salary you had. But now we're living in a world where in the UK, most people, that it's like beyond their wildest dreams to own a property. Like the average property price in the UK is like rapidly approaching 300,000, and the average wage is under 30,000. So it's over 10 times the average property price is over 10 times the average salary. So affordability wise, there's just something like a big chasm in society that needs filling, and I see tokenization as a stepping stone to be able to offer people solutions in order to own property, and then bridge the gap between that tokenization and full ownership of a property asset.
Cool. So I believe that today there's a question that's always asked, and it's a dilemma. People want property to be the best investment that they would have ever landed when they buy it, and that's why they buy it. Again, I'm not saying it is the best investments for those who believe that something else is the best investment. The best investment for you is what you understand, and whatever you understand would be the best for you. And if you don't understand any type of assets or investments, probably educate yourself, and then you will know something, and then that would be the perfect asset for you to buy. But today, people want to have property. Those who tend to want to buy property want property to be the best investment, but at the same time, they want it to be affordable, and those cannot be met at the same moment. If if property is the best investment, it means it grows with time and significantly, probably. And if it's affordable, it means it doesn't grow with time, except at par with wages, which is something that does not really progressively grow with time. So that's a dilemma, and I'm sure you live that dilemma, Edward, today when you do any kind of I wouldn't say even investment consultancy. I would say a chat with friends and family who would be tending to want to buy a house or want to invest some money, and they're in the beginning of their career or mid career, and they want to go that route. Um, and yes, you're right. You can give access to people to an asset class that proved over time is sufficiently interesting and a necessity for everyone to hold at least part of. Today, you were interested in tokenization and you fell on Blocksquare. How? How did you get introduced to Blocksquare?
Do you know what? I really don't know how I ended up on the Blocksquare website. I was doing a lot of research around tokenization at that point in time, which was maybe 4 or 5 months ago. So it may have been an article, it may have been a YouTube video or social media, or a LinkedIn post. But yeah, I sort of found my way.
I was doing some test questions with Edward before the session. We take 2 minutes and do some test questions while we're testing the voice. And I asked him this question, and he said, I don't know, but probably a YouTube video. And I said, in my head, at least, I said, definitely not my face. So probably that session was headed by Dennis or someone else. And Edward clicked on and got to Blocksquare. So why Blocksquare, Edward? Today you are part of our ecosystem, and you're using our technology. Why? Why did you decide? Obviously, you've done your research, you've looked at other technology and technology providers around. Why did you decide Blocksquare, and how have the experience been to date?
Okay, so why Blocksquare? I was looking for an accelerated route to market. So I was looking for a white label platform, and I spent a lot of time looking for something that was available, or something that I could get my tech guys to adapt, that would fit the model, the tokenization model, to be used as an exchange. And I couldn't find anything. And then I stumbled across Blocksquare, and it was like all my dreams had come true. It was exactly what I was looking for, and there it was, all just in one place. Just some neat modules that created an end-to-end ecosystem. So why Blocksquare? Because it's like the perfect solution for my requirements in order to get to the market quick and start making property offerings on or tokenized property offerings. With regard to the
go ahead, please.
With regards to the experience, it's been great so far. Like the support and information that you guys have been able to supply has been great. So yeah, like really happy and super excited to be able to get the platform live and start listing property.
Look how much democracy do we have here. We invite guests, partners, and we ask them on the spot, how has the experience been? So guys, look, we're amazing. We're just amazing. Edward, would we see any properties? Are you working on some properties that you have your hands on already?
Yes, yeah, indeed. We've got 3 properties lined up, a variety of different properties. So we've got a 3-bedroom house in Wales. We have a 2-bedroom flat in the Midlands, and we have an old farmhouse in the Buckinghamshire countryside. So there's a variety of like completely different property offerings that we're working on currently, and hopefully they'll go live shortly after the platform.
Cool. So that's your core market, obviously the UK. You're trying to give everyone access to the UK property market. Um, what next? So yes, you have a variety of properties, but are you looking afterwards at targeting probably a different type of property, or continuing to pick assets which are retail, single family homes, condos? What's the plan for the future?
I think our core will always be entry level property. So it will be like 2-bed house, 2-bed flat, predominantly newer property. But in order to deliver value to the community, we're looking at anything that will deliver a high return. So those opportunities might be like traditional buy-to-let property, or it might be we're speaking to a number of developers on commercial offerings as well. So anything where we can deliver above average returns is sort of key to what we're trying to achieve. But I think our core will be those entry level homes.
So today you're taking the entry level homes that do deliver beyond average return, that you understand, that are in areas you do understand. Are you targeting clientele from the same market, so who understand those properties as well? Or are you planning to give access to everyone else who probably may not have the ability to invest in the market, in the same market that we're talking about, because of either financially the size of the investment required, or because of the lack of accessibility to do property management, lack of knowledge, or lack of interest to property manage, because that's a totally different ball game altogether. What are you planning to do?
So we're planning to support that the sort of aspiring property owner, and try and create that launchpad in order to enable their property journey initially. So it will be guys who haven't owned property before, are looking to get on the property ladder, whether that's to own their own home or to start investment, and to facilitate that through our platform.
Cool. So you're taking the property that you have access to now. You're launching with it. Let's hope that that is sufficiently sold fast enough, and liquidity is created. And you're planning to add commercial properties after that with few developers, as well as other similar properties in the market. Are you planning to expand your market beyond the market that you will be working with as a source market now? So are you planning to take property maybe in Dubai or New York, or no, you're planning to stick to your market today?
So like Dubai is obviously on the cards. I live in Dubai, and like I come across opportunities regularly, as I'm sure you do. So there's a multitude of opportunities out here, and I think, like I say, anything that we can deliver an above average return, then I'd be looking to list those. So yeah, like I think eventually we'll expand into other geographical regions, but predominantly this will be focused on the UK investor market.
Edward, today you've been an investment consultant for a period of time. If you have an investor in front of you today, and you are advising him to go for certain types of assets and with a certain dimension or edge on property, what property would you advise him with, and how much the percentage you would probably include in the portfolio if you're setting up a portfolio for an investor?
That's a very good question. I guess it depends on their available capital, but I would recommend, like, for property, then maybe like 30 to 40%, and of that 30 to 40%, from what I know now, I'd say like diversify a large chunk of that across a multitude of tokenized properties, and it almost 100% eliminates your risk of bad tenants, of housing issues, of property problems. So I think that the tokenization aspect of real estate and how it's going to grow in the next 3 or 4 years is super exciting for investors. You can like just have passive investments where you don't need to touch them at all, and you get the capital appreciation and you get your rental return as well. I think it's just such a slick solution, I think like from an investor point of view, the guys that I've been speaking to, they're quite excited for where it's going to go as well.
Remember, guys, this is not financial advice, neither will it ever be. So it's advice that every single person does his research. But here it's a very interesting subject and way of thinking of it. Regardless if the percentage is 20 or 40, most probably, unless someone is talking to me, it wouldn't be 90. Yeah. So I don't believe that any investment advisor in the world would tell someone put 90% of your money in property or in any other asset class, most probably. So if it is 20, 30, 40, or even 60, with most people, especially with the stats that we touched on before, £300,000 average home price, £30,000 average income, I don't believe that people would be able to buy a property with that 40%, 30%, 20%, or even 60% most of the time. And if they are able to buy, they're putting all of that part of the portfolio, all the eggs in one basket. While if they are able to take a tokenized property, they're able to distribute that 40% into several, within the same asset class, into several categories of the asset class, or several geographic locations, or several income sources to mitigate the risks of property management, the risks of tenant not paying, tenant in trouble, or many other risks that can come up with any investment. So that's just the way it is today. If you want to invest in property and diversify, unless you have a huge portfolio, your only option is to go for fractionalized real estate. And fractionalized real estate that is on chain is even easier to go forward with because it's on chain. It's very easy to do so. Edward, today we are advocates of self-custody. I'm sure you have good interaction with the markets, good interaction with institutions and banking organizations. When it comes to self-custody, do you really believe that that adds value to people you talk to and people you know would be interested in the asset class?
Describe what you mean by self-custody.
So today, when you're holding your property tokens, you're holding them on your cold wallet, not on exchange. When you're holding your crypto tokens, be it Ethereum, Bitcoin, or whatever, you're holding it on your MetaMask or any other type of wallet that is your wallet. So it's your keys. You're not holding it on an exchange.
Okay. Yeah, I think so. Sorry, what was the question again, Makram?
So the question was, if we talk about self-custody today, do you really believe that that would add value to the people you talk to?
Yeah, I think so. I think like just having a record of your investments like on your phone in a wallet and having access to it, and like being able to see the details of those physical assets in one place, I think is quite desirable to people. It's all very well having like investments in property, like potentially all over the world, but like sometimes you don't realize what all the assets are when until you actually have them all in one place. And I think that's certainly from the people I've spoken to, that's quite a desirable thing to have, to be able to see that all in one place.
Edward, today, if you want to tell people support my platform, why would they want to support your platform? Why would they want to support your campaign?
Okay, I think like throughout my career, I've always been involved in projects where we've tried to deliver value for the greater good. So it's not just about delivering profit to stakeholders. It's more about delivering value to communities, value to society. And one of the big drivers for FRACTIONEX is that I see a real opportunity where we can take some societal problems and solve them through tokenization. So I'd urge people just hopefully we'll deliver superior returns on tokens, but aligned to that, hopefully we'll deliver solutions to people who are really struggling with problems in their life. And like being able to afford a property, I think it's not just about owning that property, but it's about the pride and the achievement that you achieve through that acquisition. I think there's a real opportunity for people to get involved with FRACTIONEX and to be able to facilitate the good in the project that we're working on.
Support FRACTIONEX, guys. And if you feel that Edward will, alongside his team, deliver well and grow this business, if you support the idea of every individual being able to jump on the property ladder very early on, rather than save for years for a down payment, and then the minute they have the down payment, the house that was affordable to them, that down payment could get, is non-affordable anymore. That is what we are talking about here, democratizing the access to an asset class that gives stability and gives pride to every holder. Edward, it's a pleasure having you. Do you have any last words to our community, your community, and beyond?
I'd just like to say how excited I am to launch the platform, to launch with you guys at Blocksquare, and I can see some exciting times both in the near future when we launch the platform, but over the next 3 or 4 years. I think we're in such a good space, a space that's going to grow exponentially in the coming years, and I think Blocksquare's a great partner for us, and hopefully we'll be a great partner for you, and we'll grow exponentially together.
$16 trillion. This is what BCG feels tokenized assets, real world assets, will be over the coming 6 years. Some people say it's much more. Some people say it's much less. I will go with BCG's expectation, and hopefully we'll all make it. Edward, thank you so much for being with us. If you believe that FRACTIONEX is the right project for you, support it. Thank you all